Alright, what's up guys, Fane here. So we're going to be watching the Identity trailer today. I'm going to explain it, and it does say for PC up there in the corner, but it's not just for PC, it's also for Xbox One and PS4. They announced it support later, and I'll be doing a trailer analysis of this, and I'll just let it play through first, and then I'll do the analysis afterwards. I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Identity is an MMORPG that's not really like any of the others you've probably played before. We're not about leveling and questing and grinding up to be able to play with your friends at a higher level. Everything is about the people and the interactions between them. Because of this, it's actually the people who play all of the different roles in the game, aside from some really minor things like shops and whatnot. You could become a businessman, for example, or you could be a criminal and try and get that fortune just a little bit faster. You could become a policeman or paramedic, a firefighter, the list goes on. In each of these careers, there's a totally separate progression path where you can grow your way through the ranks and unlock new abilities and move your way up. In addition to that, there's even player government, where you, the people, are actually going to be able to elect other players into office who can set laws and control taxes and even make their own policies. And fun's really always the main focus here too. We're going to make sure that whatever you're doing is going to be fun and you're going to enjoy doing it. But with that said, we're keeping some things not so much on the traditional arcadey role of MMOs, but going more a little realistic when it comes to weapons, health, and vehicles. That is, vehicles are going to handle like real vehicles, they're going to crash like real vehicles, weapons are going to shoot like the real counterpart in real life. We also understand that you're not always going to want to do something intensive, like trying to make money or fight other gangs. So we give a lot that you can do in your downtime too. Fun little social things that don't really need to be done, but why not? There's something fun. Text communication exists, but we've sort of downplayed it a bit compared to most other MMOs. Instead, we're going for voice over IP, which means when you speak into your microphone, your voice is going to be coming out of your character, and your character's mouth will move and everything accordingly. With this, we actually created karaoke bars where you can go and sing and just have a fun time with friends. And if karaoke's not really your thing, we have other fun stuff like cinemas. The cinemas are actually playing real movies. You can walk in, sit down with friends, and watch an actual movie play start to end. We even have musical instruments that you can actually play note by note however you like. You can write your own songs, play anything you want. And to make that even better, we have places to play in concert halls that amplify the music that you're playing on stage so all your friends can see and watch. You'll even find libraries full of player-written books and art galleries that are displaying art pieces that other people have actually drawn in the game and they're for sale in the gallery. If you're looking for something a little more action-oriented but you don't have a lot of time to get into the game, there's fun little mini games such as paintball that you can play with your friends. The economy and identity is actually really quite interesting, and the main reason that is that the majority of the items that are for sale on the NPC store are actually made by players. For example, take a t-shirt. If you wanted to actually create a t-shirt, you not only choose the fabric it's made out of, the colors, you can even put symbols on it. And when that is sold in a store, whoever buys it is going to have that exact piece that you made. What makes this even more interesting is that these items sold in the stores are priced based on supply and demand. So if there's a lot of t-shirts of a certain kind for sale in this one particular store, the price is going to be pretty cheap relative to another store that doesn't have any. Because of this, delivery missions can come into play, and you can actually make money transporting goods from point A to point B and selling them again. We'll even have apps that you can use on your in-game smartphone or your in-game computer to monitor the prices of certain commodities at any time. If you're really into the business side of things though, the next step up would probably be real estate. Now, you can buy real estate in the world. Every house that you see in the world is available for purchase, and if you're to buy that, you can use it for yourself or you can even set it up for rent. Any house that you have that's rented by another player is going to be producing income all the time. And the next step up from there even is factory ownership. There are two kinds of homes in Identity. You have apartments and houses. Apartments are instants, meaning that anybody can have them. There's an unlimited number of them available. When you interact with a certain apartment building, you're going to be able to load into your instanced apartment. Houses, on the other hand, are out in the world. Like I said earlier, every single house out in the world is viable and rentable, and when you have one of these houses, it's unique. only one person can own a certain house on that server in the world at any given time. When you first buy your home, it's going to come both empty and sort of shabby. So you're going to be able to upgrade things like your floors, your walls, your trims. If you want to redo the floors with nice hardwood, that's up to you. You can even choose the style and the color. And then it's time to buy furniture and move it all in. The cool thing here is that a lot of the furniture that you place in your home is functional. It's not just for decoration, although some is. For example, a sofa or chair can be sat in. A television, you can actually watch streaming gameplay of other people playing Identity at any given time. If you have a radio, you can turn that on, listen to streaming radio, real internet radio stations. Closets can be used to store any sort of clothing that you bought earlier and are not using at that given time. You can take out food out of a refrigerator or your cupboards, for example, or even use your bed to rest. The list goes on, and the point is that a lot of this stuff that you have in your house isn't just for decoration, it's for actual use. A lot of stuff is just for decoration though, and we have some really cool things here. For example, if you take a screenshot with your smartphone in the game, you can actually print that off, frame it, and hang it on your wall. Whatever you take, that thing will show on the wall to everybody in your apartment. And we go even further with this, allowing you to get canvases where you can paint by hand anything that you can imagine. You'll see this masterpiece right here, I made myself. It's probably going to be worth a fortune one day. Homes have a lot of other functionality too. One of the main things that you're probably going to use it for is storage. Any items that you have out in the world, you can store in your house for safekeeping. Character customization is going to be very extensive. With such a huge focus on immersion and world, we have to go just as far with characters as well. That means that there's going to be a lot of focus on character customization to make sure that you can look truly unique and exactly how you'd like to appear. And because there's no skills, there's no leveling, when you get in the game you can play with your friends no matter how long they've been playing before you. You can just jump right in and get right into it right off the bat. In place of skills and levels, we have something like a talent tree that you would see in other MMORPGs, although it's structured a little bit differently. We'll give you more information on that at a later time. But one thing that we can say about it is, in addition to your generic talent trees, careers also have their own progression, things that you can do to make some money in the world, and anybody can do them at any given time. Things like mining, transportation, shipwreck excavation, hunting and fishing, and so on. There's even illegal things that you could do, such as robbery. You could kidnap other people, you can produce drugs, you can do smuggling or arms dealing. Now, careers, on the other hand, you have to apply to and join. These are things like police, paramedics, and firefighters, and there's even more. These all have their own progression. For example, in police, you can become a detective. You can become a DEA agent or a SWAT member. All of the police that you encounter in the game when you're a criminal are going to be played by other people who are working up the ranks to be the best cop that they can be. That means it's going to be their focus to stop you when you're doing something illegal. If you're interested in becoming a police officer, you're also going to get all kinds of extra powers and abilities and even weaponry that other people don't have. For example, you're going to be able to arrest other players who are breaking the law. You can tase them if you have to subdue them without killing them. You even have your own special vehicles with police radar, sirens, searchlights, and the list goes on. The police force will be a very organized structure that you can be a member of. While there's a whole slew of things that you can do that are non-combat related, player versus player combat is always an important thing of great MMOs, and Identity is no exception here. Where we are different is in how we do it. Members of gangs can declare war on other gangs, and if they accept, open war can begin where you can kill these other people at any given time. There are also PvP capture points such as cartels that work sort of like something that you would expect in a game like Battlefield, where you capture a certain area and then gain benefits from holding it. In the case of a cartel, for example, you'll get a cut of the drugs that are produced there. Identity is a huge game with a lot to do. We've only just gotten started in its development. We're going to be releasing new screenshots, information, and videos on a very regular basis to all of our backers. If only a few people have taken it this far in a couple of short months, imagine where we're going to be in a year with your support. I'm veteran game developer John Vanderswet, and I'm excited to show you today what we've been working on for the last few months in absolute secrecy. Identity is an MMORPG that's unlike any other you've ever played. It's not based on levels or skill progression. It's based on you, your character, and what you want to do with it. Identity is all about giving absolute freedom in a world that's full of other people and fun things to do. We've gotten rid of most of the AI and replaced it with people. It's people who are driving down the street, and it's people who run for governor. It's people who play as police officers and fight crime. You'll find sports, car racing, paintball matches, and more others than I have time to list. And living off the land is your sort of thing. You can make a pretty good living hunting and fishing. Identity is all about the freedom to do what you want to do when you want to do it. While Identity is an MMORPG in most ways, we're going to be offering you the option to rent your own servers too. So if you want a different, more specialized style of gameplay than our official servers have, such as maybe hardcore role-playing or some kind of endless action, server operators are going to have control over hundreds of features to customize what they want. If you're somebody that likes to take the quiet route, you can form a business and play the market, or you could take the other way. You could become a criminal, you could rob people, you could rob banks, you could steal cars. Everything is open for player interaction. The land identity is enormous, with all sorts of landscapes from cities, farms, and wilderness. There really is so much more I wish I could show you with this, but we've only just gotten started here.
Hey, you got a gang? You looking for one? You need a shank?
Alright guys, that was the trailer, so now let's go over it and analyze it. Oh look, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Rocket from the Guardians of the Galaxy. I really...
Alright. And yes, my dog is here, so you might hear some background noise. Alright, here we go. Let's see what we got. Okay, let's go about here.
This you've probably played before. We're not about leveling and questing and grinding up to be able to play with your friends at a higher level. Everything is about the people and the interactions between them. Because of this, it's actually the people who play all of the different roles in the game, aside from some really minor things
Fine,
like
do you want to be in the
shots.
video,
You
crazy
could
dog?
become
Get
a
up here.
businessman, for example, or you could be a criminal and try and get that fortune
There
just
you
a
go.
little bit faster.
Get up here.
You could become a policeman and or paramedic, a firefighter, the list goes on. In each of these careers, there's a totally separate progression path.
Yeah, we've all heard this already, blah, blah, blah.
The office, who can set laws and control taxes and even make the
Blah, blah, blah.
most other MMOs. Instead, we're going for a voiceover up. Anything you want. And to make that even better, we have places to play in concert halls that amplify the music that you're playing on.
Alright.
Your character's mouth
Sorry,
will move
man.
and everything accordingly. With this,
Alright, so you can see it's kind of like GTA, the mouth will move when you speak.
we actually
So,
created
yeah.
karaoke.
And then right here we can see the dressing room. They said like you have closet store stuff, so this might be like where you'll change your clothes and stuff like that maybe. I don't know, possibly.
Bars where you can go and sing and just have a fun time with friends. And if karaoke's not really your thing, we have other fun stuff like cinemas. The cinemas are actually playing real movies. You can walk in, sit down with friends, and watch an actual movie play start to end. We even have musical instruments, so you can actually play note by note however you like.
And here, earlier he said that you'll have like customized stuff or whatever. So maybe you'll make your own jewelry and sell it here, possibly. Or they'll also be like just like normal jewelry and like set jewelry and stuff like that, most likely. Alright, let's continue.
You can write your own songs, play anything you want. And to make that even better, we have places to play in concert halls that amplify the music that you're playing on stage, so all your friends can see and watch. You'll even find libraries full of player-written books and art galleries that are displaying art pieces that other people have actually drawn in the game and are for sale in the gallery. If you're looking for something a little more action-oriented, but you don't have a lot of time to get into the game, there's fun little mini games such as paintball that you can.
Alright, you see here he's hunting, so probably, as he said, you'll make a decent wage hunting and stuff like that. So maybe there'll be a vast wilderness, because they said they'll have different places to do things, like not just a city. So, and you'd also see more than just two. You can see two creatures in the shot. There's also the butterfly off to the left that you'll see flutter up once he shoots.
Play with your friends.
And I thought like maybe some fish in the stream. Who knows? Because he said fishing.
The economy and identity is actually really quite interesting, and the main reason that
if you look right here, he's talking. It's like the bank that we'll see. Maybe that's where the money will go, and that's what they can rob. Maybe because we saw that in a earlier video, earlier in the video. And then there's the cinema right there, and maybe to that thing with all the posters to the right might be a mall, because you can see like the mannequins in the windows.
Is that the majority of the items that are for sale on the NPC store are actually made by players. For example, take a t-shirt. If you wanted to actually create a t-shirt, you not only choose the fabric that's made.
Alright, and here, so it looks like we'll be able to put the clothes that you make, or just like the normal clothes that you buy for stock, on racks and other places, which will be pretty cool. I wonder if, and later on, actually about like right here, you can see a mannequin, so maybe you put like helmets on that, or like hats and like shoes and everything.
You put symbols on it. And when that is sold in the store, whoever buys it is going to have that exact piece that you made. What makes this even more interesting is that these items...
And then here we see another shot of this prison. So we only ever see this prison, so this is leading me to believe that this is the only prison that they have here in the game so far.
Sold in the stores are priced based on supply and demand. So if there's a lot of t-shirts of a certain kind for sale in this one particular store, the price is going to be pretty cheap relative to another store that doesn't have any. Because of this, delivery missions can come into play, and you can actually make money transporting goods from point A to point B and selling them again. We'll even have apps that you can use on your in-game smartphone.
And then right here, this will be the only shot that we get of the police thing. We can see, as we saw before, surveillance, internet, and stuff like that, but the only ones that are new that we can see are 3 of them. Well, maybe a 4th, actually. There's the car icon down in the left, if you can see that, the car icon. You have to zoom in on this video. And maybe that's like a plate tracker, maybe like a car registry or something. And then there's the like the black figure in like the white box. I'm thinking maybe that might be like an identity thing. Maybe like to like check your ID, or if you want it for officer. And then there's the green radar, which could probably be like maybe like a like a tracker or something for the police, like I don't know, like a criminal radar almost. I'm not quite sure. And then there's the like PDA looking thing above it. Maybe like record audio. I'm not quite sure. Maybe like a book of arrests, something like that. I don't know.
Phone or your in-game computer to monitor the prices of certain commodities at any time. If you're really into the business side of things, though, the next step up would probably be real estate. Now, you can buy real estate in the world. Every house that you see in the world is available for purchase. And if you're to buy that, you can use it for yourself, or you can even set it up for rent. Any house that you have that's rented by another player is going to be producing income all the time. And the next step up from there even is factory ownership. There are 2 kinds of homes in Identity. You have apartments and houses. Apartments are instants, meaning that anybody can have them. There's an unlimited number of them available. When you interact with a certain apartment building, you're going to build load into your instanced apartment. Houses, on the other hand, are out in the world. And like I said earlier, every single house out in the world is viable and rentable. And when you have one of these houses, it's unique. Only one person can own a certain house on that server in the world at any given time. When you first buy your home, it's going to come both empty and sort of shabby. So you're going to be able to upgrade things like your floors, your walls.
So you can see here they're talking about like upgrading your home and the trim and everything like that. So we can assume the homes are going to be very customizable. Later in the video, we see him place down the computer, so we'll be able to add more things. Like we see the dude cooking meth by the lake in the shadow of the mountain or whatever in that RV. So maybe like a meth station or something will be a placeable object that you can like hide in your house or something like that too.
Also your trims, if you want to like redo the floors with nice hardwood, that's up to you.
And then right here we have bank account, which is probably like I was talking about earlier, the Union Bank thing. Could probably that's probably like to deposit money digitally, so that way you don't have like maybe like credit maybe, or maybe your money will actually go in the bank, and that's how robbers get their money. There's Messenger like earlier, contacts. Oh, the person one wasn't there either. Like on the person one isn't here on the, but it was on the police one. I wonder what that was. Maybe like, or maybe that was the ID one. Who knows? So then we have real estate, which as you mentioned earlier, you can like sell real estate and stuff, or you can shop online with the shopping cart there. He said you can get on real live internet, so that's probably internet camera feed, probably for like businesses or something. And then the police have it, like they're all hooked up to all of them. Really TV, I don't know what that is, maybe like a YouTube thing, but then there's like the internet, so I don't know, maybe it's just like TV. And then there's a stock market, you know, you can be like a stockbroker, like you said earlier as well. Then there's the settings, obviously. And then there's that gun icon in the left. I don't know if you guys can read that, but that says counterfeit. Something like counterfeit guns or weapons or something like that. Who knows?
Have in your house isn't just for decoration. Homes have a lot of other functionality too. One of the main things.
And you're talking about paintings in this one. So paintings sound really cool. I'm excited for them. Like just make your own art. There's a lot of artists in the gaming industry who just like don't get a chance to do anything really. Aside from like make like pretty cool, you know, like concept art or animations.
That you're probably going to use it for is storage. Any items that you have out in the world, you can store in your house for safekeeping. Character cut.
So they're talking about character customization here. They show a few shots of people, and they said since we'll have like we can make our own clothes, we can assume that there'll probably be lots, and I mean lots of customization, like more than Skyrim and Fallout 4 and all the Fallout games combined. And all the Skyrim games combined together, because you can make your own personal ones, maybe just wear it for you, and you'll have that one unique one. Or you can sell it on the market. But yeah, that's going to be pretty cool. Maybe you can even make your own glasses. That would be really cool.
Customization is going to be very extensive. Money in the world, and anybody can do them at any given time. Things like mining, transportation, shipwreck excavation, hunting and fishing, and so on. There's even a leap.
So here he says ship exploration or scavenging or whatever that'll be. So we know there's definitely going to be a boat. There's definitely going to be boats in this game and a sea part, as you can see with this boat right here, and also like scavenging, like treasure maybe and stuff like that. And there's also going to be illegal things, which he's about to get into.
Legal things that you could do, such as robbery. You could kidnap other people. You can produce drugs. You can do smuggling or arms dealing. Now, careers, on the other hand, you have to apply to and join.
Alright, so he's talking about smuggling, so maybe get stuff from point A to point B. I could see that. Then there's kidnapping, so which implies they'll probably have handcuffs or something like zip ties from Arma that you will be able to use.
These are things like police, paramedics, and firefighters, and there's even more. These all have their own progression. For example,
this is what I'm really happy about, because usually they just let, so I was worried they were not just gonna let anybody join the forces, so that way the police could just like start murdering people and stuff like that. But so now they have it to where, like, if you just let somebody die or kill them or something as a police officer, like non-roleplay-ish, you get banned off of that career for a while. That's really good because I remember that was one of the big problems with Arma, like a big, super crappy police force that was always like, oh well, you like they really had nothing to do. They were just like, oh, you have like a non-registered plate number, you're going to jail,
In
or like
police,
they'll
you can
execute
become a
you or
detective.
something.
You can become a DEA agent or a SWAT member. All of the police that you encounter in the game when you're a criminal are going
Here's that just meth thing that I was talking about.
to be played. Becoming a police officer, you're also going to get all
Yeah, I'm just gonna skip through all this because we've seen all of this already. And yeah, that's basically it. Aside from the dude that you can talk to, like Shank and stuff. So apparently, the dude like where they talk about shanks and things. So apparently, there will be like a thing where you can serve out your sentence and may possibly escape prison before serving your sentence. So yeah, this has been my trailer analysis, guys. I will see you guys later. Bye.